All right, you feather merchants. This is a story about when I was in the Marine Corps. It was 1962, and I was stationed at Camp Hansen, Okinawa. And there was a guy, I don't remember his name. I remember they called him Ski. He was, I remember he was in a squad right behind me. So when we're in formation, he'd be standing behind me, and he would talk to himself. Um, for some reason, he thought he was in the Twilight Zone. That's what he said. He said, "Check it out. I must be in the Twilight Zone." Well, I don't know if the sergeant ever heard him or he just pretended like he didn't hear him, but he never said anything about him talking to himself. Um, anyway, unfortunately for me, Ski was assigned to the same cubicle as I was. And what they did, we lived in these typhoon proof buildings. They're one-story buildings, open squad bay, except in between, they had two bunk beds, and then they'd have a cubicle on each side of the bunk bed, and it was like that all the way down in barracks. And I slept in the top bunk. Another Marine was underneath me, and it was Ski in the next top bunk, right next to me. Anyway, Okinawa in the summertime, it would get hot. And of course, you don't have air conditioning. But they did have a fan. The fan was located on the wall right above Ski's bunk, but it would move back and forth, so you could stay fairly cool. But Ski didn't want the fan to move back and forth. He made it real clear he wanted the fan on him. And this guy was like, he wasn't playing with a full deck. He wasn't stupid. He was smart, but kind of like a guy that you would, if he had any sense, you would avoid him, and you certainly wouldn't poke sticks at him because there was something wrong with him. So anyway, I'm not gonna make a big deal out of this. I'm stuck with this guy. Anyway, this one night, he wasn't in the barracks. So he was probably out in Kid Village beating someone up or something. Um, anyway, the guy that was in the lower bunk with me, or I'm in the upper bunk, he's in the lower bunk, and we thought, you know what? Let's just tie the fan where he can't move it and point it on us. So we did that, and here comes Ski. The lights are out in the barracks. Ski shows up and he gets in bed, and he said he wasn't happy. But anyway, he tried to move the fan, and it wouldn't move because it was tied with twine. And as he was breaking the string loose that was holding the fan, it hit his finger, and you could hear the bing like that. And I thought, oh boy, this is gonna be good. But he didn't. He didn't attack us. He just positioned the fan where it blew on him. And then there was another incident. There was a guy that was stationed with me that actually we ended up being iron workers together. We were both from Northwest Indiana, and we ended up being iron workers together after we got out of the Marine Corps. Outstanding iron worker. The guy was really good. His name was Donnie. But anyway, Donnie's locker was right next to Ski's locker. So, and we were going to have an inspection, uniform inspection, the next morning. But Ski wanted to go out in the village, and he tells Donnie, he says, "Hey, my shoes are in the shoe shop or something. I don't know." And Donnie said, "Yeah, what about it?" And he said he wanted to borrow his because they were the same size. Well, Donnie loaned him his uniform shoes, and Ski went out in the village. And the next morning, when we're getting dressed for inspection, Ski hands Donnie his shoes, and they look like they'd been in a benjo ditch or something. They're all scuffed up. They got mud on them. And he pulls his shoes out of the locker. Ski pulls his shoes out of the locker, and they're all spit shine, and he puts them on for the inspection. And, you know, Donnie, he was a tough guy, but I don't think he really wanted to take this lunatic on. And Ski, if you're out there and you see this video, don't contact me. I don't want any more of your nonsense. Anyway, this is going to be a short video. I just wanted to share that with you. And Okinawa, back then, Okinawa was an incredible duty station. I loved it over there. Actually, I did 2 tours on Okinawa, and we would move around a lot. Actually, we would go to the Philippines and play war games, and we were getting ready for Vietnam. Everyone knew we were going to end up in Vietnam, although I got out of the Marine Corps before they sent everyone there. And they just had advisors going there when I was at Camp Hansen. But I went to the Philippines a couple of times, and Mount Fuji. We were stationed in Mount Fuji, and for cold weather training. But the real cold weather training was in Korea. Oh my God, that was. Whew. I was originally from Chicago. I'm used to winters, but I wasn't used to that kind of winters. And then we did play more games in what they call Formosa at the time is Taiwan. And we knew at some point in time we're going to be fighting the Chinese, and it looks like we're getting closer to that today. And we'd go to Hong Kong on R&R. I was in Hong Kong a couple times. That was a really good experience. Actually, I'll share that with you sometime about when I had a problem with rickshaw drivers. And because back then, that's what they had. They didn't have any taxis in Hong Kong. They had rickshaws. I spent a lot of time in Japan. Japan was a wonderful country, incredible. And like as a civilian, I live in Southeast Asia, and I've went back to Japan several times. I love it, although it's certainly changed a lot from when I was in the anyway, I'm going to sign off, and you feather merchants have a good day.